You care about these people so much and you want to provide. The mistake I made was probably not letting people go fast enough.
Every business is unique.
But the ups and downs we experience as we launch and run our businesses are pretty similar.
We're Harmon Brothers, the team behind Pooping Unicorns and other weird but successful video ads you've probably seen.
We help businesses grow through unforgettable video marketing, and we're no stranger to tricky situations. In fact, we embrace them.
The goal of this podcast is to show how your crappy circumstances could be the golden opportunity that leads to your next success.
You're watching Poop to Gold.
Welcome back to From Poop to Gold. I'm Benton Crane, your co-host and the CEO of Harmon Brothers. We're always interviewing successful people and finding the journey that they've gone through to become successful. We're uncovering the poop moments that they've overcome to earn their gold. So today we have David J. with us. Welcome to the show, David.
Thanks, Ben. It's great to be here.
David is I would say a serial entrepreneur. He could have a very long introduction, but I'm actually going to keep it really short and just focus on his most recent company. So David is the founder of Warm Welcome. I'm going to let you tell our listeners a little bit about Warm Welcome. I think I've wrapped my head around what it is. It's kind of in the conversational marketing space, but it's video focused instead of chat focused. Paint the picture for us. Tell us a little bit more about Warm Welcome.
Yeah, so the original idea actually came from a group called Young Life. I don't know if you ever heard of Young Life, but an Apple executive went to a Young Life camp. They do summer camps for kids. When the kids get off the bus, the whole camp is there clapping for them, saying, yeah, welcome to camp. You're going to have the best week of your life. Apple decided to adopt that same sort of warm welcome in their stores. And that's why you see a greeter at the store. Someone just to give you a smile and a wave, say, welcome to Apple. Anything I can help with. Well, in the last year, every single business has had to learn how to sell online. And one of the best ways to build trust online is by putting a face, a smile, a wave, a real human, not a robot, on your website or in your email. And so that's what Warm Welcome helps businesses do.
So I've been to your website and I've kind of seen what you're talking about firsthand. But for our listeners who haven't seen this, kind of describe a little bit more. Like, what do you mean by that when you see, somebody waving and smiling and greeting you on a website? What does that look like?
Yeah, well, it can look a lot of different ways. One is just a little video bubble, real subtle down there in the corner, instead of a chat bot or a little customer service thing. It's a real human that you can click on and talk to, and that builds trust. But that's just one moment in time. We wanted to personalize the entire client experience, the entire customer journey. We also have video business cards. You can send video emails. We think most of your website should be video. And of course, you guys have harnessed the power of video for a long time, beautiful, clever, professionally produced video, which is powerful, but personal videos are also very powerful. And so we don't think that you should do all this work, and get somebody to the contact page of your website and then dump them on a form. Like, why not have a personal video on the contact page? Or, instead of your bio being some cleverly written text, why don't you have a video on your bio? Like, video does such a better job of communicating than text does. And so we think it will absolutely kind of find its way into every type of communication.
So let's focus for a second on the application that's kind of inside the, quote unquote chat bot, if you will. So I recently read the book Conversational Marketing by Dave Gerhardt and David Cancel. And in fact, Dave Gerhardt was a guest on our show a few months ago. And so I understand kind of this movement behind conversational marketing and personalizing the experience as much as possible with every customer. A lot of brands have scaled to the point where they can't personalize every single conversation, but many brands do. In the case of Warm Welcome, I feel like you've taken that to the next step where that little chat bot, there's a little video of a human waving at you and saying hello, and then you click on it and it pops up and says, hey, I'm so-and-so, welcome to Warm Welcome in your case. Let me know if you have any questions. And then you can start interacting via video or chat or, whatever is most convenient. Am I interpreting that use case correctly?
Exactly. Yeah. And so no matter what type of business you're in, we saw restaurants transition really quickly last year from, in-person sit down and eat, to delivery, having to sell online.
Yeah, yeah.
And, most restaurants don't really have much of a web presence because they never had to sell that way. They maybe put their menu on their website. Well, how much more effective would it be, instead of putting the menu on your website, to go grab your camera, right? These are cameras, not phones. Go grab this, go back to the chef and say, all right, chef, talk me through this dish.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how much cooler is that for the client to be able to see the chef, talk through the ingredients? This is why this is such a great dish. Like, that's going to sell the product better. Someone who has a skin care business that's selling lotion or something like that. Like, why can't somebody land on your website, click a button, and get a real human to talk them through the product, just like they would if they were in the store?
Yeah, I love it. Do you guys have any data or any use cases yet on a chat bot that's just text-based versus a chat bot that incorporates these videos like we're talking about? Have you seen any use case data around that?
Well, one thing we just did with a real estate agent was, because real estate agents work with a brokerage, so they all have access to all the same things. They typically go kind of through the same process. And so we just took one from that agency or from that brokerage and just put the chat bubble or the video bubble down in the bottom corner of their website, where the agent was introducing himself, kind of talking about his philosophy and whatnot. And he's 3 times the other agent in his office for over the last year, 3x. This is, I'm sure there's more than just that one factor, but in a hot market where people are making decisions quickly, you need to be able to build trust quickly. Most agent websites are like a bunch of pictures of houses. You don't really stand out by putting a bunch of pictures of houses on your website. You stand out by putting yourself into it. You build trust by showing that, hey, I'm the person behind this. I'm going to make sure you're well taken care of. And so, he did that, and it seemed to work pretty well for him.
Let's hear a little bit about your journey to how you ended up here. Let's start out with a quick overview. Kind of give us the broad strokes overview, and then we'll dive into, one of your poop to gold moments.
Like a lot of entrepreneurs, I dropped out of college, started a service-based business as a photographer, and started to hit all of the typical scale problems of a service-based business. And I was actually using video at the time. It was much more difficult, but the different photo shoots I'd go to, I'd shoot a little video and say, hey, I'm David J. out shooting a wedding in Mexico. Check out the photos. And I put those online, and it helped grow my business, but I couldn't grow it like I could grow a software business. I gravitated into tech and helping other people solve their scale problems through technology, and then serviced all those businesses through community. Built one company, all organic, bootstrapped, used the money from that one to grow another one, split off from a partner that I had so I could own all the companies. And so that's kind of the fast track 20-year story of kind of building these small startups. And then once they got kind of past a certain mark, like about $1 million, is where I start to become a detriment to the business. I'm an ideas guy. I'm an early adopter, innovator type. And so once the business gets past that, proof of concept, product market fit, and it's starting to become more of a machine, I have another crew that will operate and grow the business from there.
It's awesome that you have the self-awareness for that, because so many entrepreneurs, they want to hold on to their baby, even if it's not necessarily their skill set. Sometimes they hold on to the own detriment of the company. Now, you have a unicorn there over your shoulder, and obviously unicorns are close to my heart, so I've got to hear the story about this.
This is Vivi. Vivi the unicorn is kind of one of my pet projects, I'll call it, but it was actually part of the birthing story, if you will, of Warm Welcome. Is I was building a product that was going to do these automated videos, automated slideshows, help photographers market themselves without having to go in and create something. The magical unicorn would create their marketing material for them. And as I was showing somebody that, a friend of mine, Eric Knopf, who has a company called Web Connects, he was sitting here and he's like, that's really cool. I'd love to use that to send these personal videos to all of our customers. As somebody signs up for his software, he wanted to kind of walk them around the office and introduce them to, their account rep and say, hey, here's the crew here at Web Connects. We're so excited to be working with you. And so, me and Vivi thought that was a great idea. and told him, hey, we're going to steal that idea and we're going to build that as a product of its own. That was the kind of beginning evolution of Warm Welcome.
And does it exist as its own company or its own product, or was it just kind of the precursor to Warm Welcome?
Yeah, it still exists. It's grown into more of a full suite of products within another one of my companies called Shoot and Share. So Shoot and Share is an all-in-one platform for photographers to deliver their photos, make marketing videos, creates a website. But the magical part about it is that it's all done for you. So you don't have to, go in and be a web designer, or you don't have to be a video editor. You just upload your photos, click a button, and Vivi goes off in the background and creates some magic.
Got it. So it's photography specific.
Yep.
Very, very cool. You're a living, breathing example of the user method at work. I don't know if you've read the book, The User Method, but the thesis is entrepreneurs should just build stuff that solves problems for themselves. And there will almost always be a big market of other people who want those same solutions. And it sounds like you really live that.
Yeah, it's a fun way to build stuff, right? Because you're the user and it's real. You're not trying to solve a problem in theory, out of some MBA program. Like, no, you're actually frustrated. And I think frustration is the mother of invention. That's what creates the energy that's needed to push through these roadblocks that every business is going to have as it's getting going. Is got to be really frustrated in order to get that thing into existence.
Has there ever been a time when you thought you were going to lose it all?
Oh yeah, many, many times actually. I would say the first was 2008. So we had one piece of software that was a typical software at that time. It was a slideshow program where people would pay one time, $100 or $200, and they got the software. Well, we had then built a website builder that we were releasing as our first subscription-based product. Cool drag and drop website builder. This is early days of SaaS, right? Of course, as we're releasing it, right? This is end of 2007, early 2008, the whole world crashes. And so people were very reluctant to sign up for a subscription-based product that they were going to have to pay for forever. Nowadays, it's normal and that's what people prefer. But back then, it was not. And the growth of that was just tragically slow. And we started having to lay people off. It's a startup. These are people like literally living in my house. I had a videographer at the time that was kind of following me around documenting stuff. We were using that for marketing, an assistant. Like they were living there. So this is like my family that I'm having to tell them I'm sorry, but we don't have any more money.
And their livelihood is depending on you.
Yeah, exactly.
What are the emotions that go through you when you have to go tell someone that close to you, sorry, you don't get a paycheck?
It's brutal. You care about these people so much and you want to provide. The mistake I made was probably not letting people go fast enough. At the time I had a business partner and he was, really fighting for people on his side of the business and the tech and the customer service side. And so we were having all these battles of like, look, we have to let these people go and stretching ourselves, way too thin. And we almost lost the whole business as a result. And it's hard, but you have to take care of the business. Otherwise you won't have one. And then the business won't be able to take care of other employees or the customers.
That's right.
And that's something that is lost in a lot of conversations. There's all these conversations about company culture and caring for the employees, and all that's fine and good. But you really have to care for the business first so that the business can care for the employees and the customers. So you got to get things in the right order.
For probably lots of entrepreneurs, learning how and when to fire can be one of the hardest lessons that there is. I know for me personally, that has just been brutally hard. And anytime you have to lay someone off or fire someone, it just rips your heart out. It's just, soul crunching. But having gone through it a handful of times, in almost every single case, you look back and it becomes a poop to gold moment for those people. It sucks in the moment, it's terrible, but it's almost always needed. And they usually end up finding something better that is a better fit for them. It's a better fit for the company, and everyone ends up benefiting by going through those really hard things. Has that been your experience as well?
Yeah, I've had both. I've had some people who I thought I was generous in letting them go, and they went on to, sandbag me and try and pull customers and do that. I've had others that were really classy about it and understood that that's business. If people have started their own business or they've ever operated their own business, they get that. People that have never gone through that, they don't understand things on that level. That's okay. They're unconsciously incompetent. They just don't know what they don't know, and they don't understand so much. And so you're making decisions that affect them, but you kind of can't worry about what they think about it because they don't have all the information.
Where's the best place for our listeners to follow you and to stay in touch with you?
Yeah, well, warmwelcome.com. Honestly, I would say don't just follow. Send me a video. I love that. I think that is one of the things that brings a lot of energy to business is when we're connected to the contribution we're making and we're connected to our customers. And so send a video in, I'll send one back. We can chat that way. It's super fun. We got a nice little shout out from Mr. Wonderful because of that component of Warm Welcome. These question and answer videos are powerful. He has a whole show on it, the Ask Mr. Wonderful show. Warm Welcome enables any business to do that. So we love that. And I love hearing from other entrepreneurs or just random businesses that have some questions and we can chat. I think there's a tsunami of businesses that are having to learn how to sell online now, whether it's a big business or even a small kind of one-person shop. We're a blue ocean company. Like we think this industry is very blue ocean. And so we're not trying to keep anybody out. We're actually encouraging more and more similar solutions to come in because this is not a 1-year shift. It's a 600-year shift we're seeing. 600 years ago, the printing press came out, and that was one of the first things in the world that scaled. And so everyone became obsessed with the written word, right? We've got these little notebooks, we've got text messages, we've got emails, we've got leather-bound books, leather-bound journals, hardbound books. How many different versions of the written word do we have? Tons. So now in the last 10 years, we've got video and the internet have combined, and we found that video is a much better way for humans to communicate than text. Text turns negative and sour really fast. Just look at Facebook and Twitter. If video is better, we're going to see a million iterations of it, and we're just going to be one that fits for some group of people. We're not going to have 100% of the market. There's no way. So right now, what the market needs is more people validating that and saying, yes, use video, use video, use video, so that every business starts moving towards using video. So we just want more people saying, yes, do personal videos, do professional videos, use videos. They're way better than the old way.
This has been so great getting to know you, David. Before we wrap up, can you share, for our listeners who are mostly entrepreneurs, what piece of advice would you give them as they're facing 2021?
Well, I'd probably give them the same advice that my dad gave me. I was 16 years old, and he sat me down and he said, David, if you just focus your business on helping other people, you'll always have plenty of work. I think we oftentimes focus too much on our product, and we don't focus enough on the customer's problem. If we can stay focused on that, what's their problem? Not convincing them how great our product is, but what's their problem? How can we provide a solution for that? That's what's going to keep bringing customers in and keep giving us the energy to keep running our businesses. And there's a lot of people that need help nowadays. There's a lot of people with a lot of problems. The creative ones, the true entrepreneurs are going to get focused on that and help solve those problems and do a lot of good.
Such sage advice. I would just echo that the entrepreneurs who focus inwardly on themselves, their business, their product, and they're just trying to tout that message of, look at us, look at us, look at our product. They never find the same level of success as the ones who focus outwardly with empathy, like you're saying. I hear you, I see you, I understand, I empathize. This is how I can help you. Yep. Very different tone. David, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and your experience. It's been a pleasure to get to know you.
Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it.
Hey, for our listeners, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Do you ever feel like your marketing efforts are stuck on a plateau? At Harmon Brothers, we offer a free marketing audit to help you identify the areas where you can level up and get your business back into growth mode. All you have to do is go to harmonbrothers.com/audit.
We have the data, we have the expertise. This is free. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.